Hi, everybody. We're back. We had rudely interrupted by internet connections and modern technology, but Alice and I are back with you now. And Alice, what I had asked you about was what it's like to run a technology company in terms of building out a product, building websites, iterating, working with tech people. How have you found that as a process?
Yeah, sure. So I think for us, people is the most important thing. Culture and finding the best people. Even though it's a technology company, that is so critical from the developer side, our customer service team, our advisors, everyone that we've brought in is so passionate about what we're doing, and also just so incredibly talented and skilled in their specific area. So us not having a technology background ourselves was really, really important for us to surround ourselves with the best people, mentors, advisors, and also our employees. So yeah, that's been quite a process, a learning process. We sort of jumped in when we started doing the build. We jumped into all sorts of startup networks in Sydney, in Australia, and just met and chatted to as many people as we could to learn as much as we could, as fast as we could, about what the best, what the best road to take was.
Yep.
And there are definitely a few kind of key moments where we look back and feel like things have been very fortuitous. We could have made a very different decision at key points, and we feel like everything has really worked out incredibly well. And hopefully, I think that's partly to do with us asking the right questions and speaking to the right people, and not assuming that we know everything, because we certainly didn't when it came to tech.
Yeah.
So being part of programs such as Elevarco, which is for female tech entrepreneurs, and getting them pitch ready and getting them ready to raise money, because as we know, there's a huge gap when it comes to female tech entrepreneurs raising money. So it's great organisations like that are changing those statistics. Also, the StartMate Accelerator program here in Australia is an incredible network, which we went through at the beginning of last year. So yeah, I think that is really the focus when building a company, is people.
Yeah. I think a lot of people tend to think that they've got an idea and they're going to do a really detailed plan, and they're going to think about it, and they're going to build one amazing version, and that version's going to be perfect and going to work. What for somebody who's got that in mind, what's your advice to them?
Just get started. Just get something out there, even if it is, validate your idea. So we, came up with this concept. Very quickly spoke to a lot of friends who are parents, and just a lot of parents that we met in the park to start validating it. We also just got a really basic splash page up online and put $50 behind a Facebook post. And with $50 spent on Facebook, we had 250 people register interest in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. Mainly Bondi, really, in a very small area, saying, yes, we want this. So that was that cost us $50 and a few conversations to validate what we were doing before we actually started building it. Then building it, I think my co-founder and I are, we'd probably err on the side of wanting things to be perfect, but they never will be. So just get it out. And I think speaking to your customers a lot and really involving them will really help with that, because they won't, they're along the whole journey. They won't, your early customers and beta testers don't expect things to be perfect if you communicate things with them, and if you involve them, then you can iterate your product faster instead of making guesses. So, and I think what's been really interesting for Millie and I, actually not being parents yet, we've been able to make decisions really objectively and data driven, rather than emotionally about what we think as parents or as mums. So that's been probably a blessing as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So that's some really good advice. And let's say there's teenage girls out there who've got ideas and they're thinking, well, you can't just go and build an app or start a business. That's a really big thing that is only for old people to do. what's your advice to them?
First of all, I think the opposite is true in tech when it comes to old people. Start young, get in early for sure. I feel old in the world of tech. But just get out there, get networking, talk to people who've been there, done that, talk to people who are a bit further ahead on the road, on the journey than you, and just, learn as much as you can, and get started validating your idea as the first step. Obviously, don't spend a lot of money and time on it before you've validated it.
Yeah.
But also there are definitely ways to get started and prove your idea that don't cost a lot of money.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Getting really creative with that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for supporting She's Building a Robot. We really, really appreciate it. Well done as as one of the first investors in StartMate, and still an investor and supporter, mentor. It's one of the great programs around in Australia, and it's fantastic to see there are so many good ones. Keep up the good work. Keep helping parents. We need a lot of help. And again, thanks so much for sharing your story and being a great role model to young women with big ambitions.
Thanks, Mick. Appreciate it. Great to chat.
No problems.